Hello, and welcome back to the Faye Banner Review, where we talk about how Dear Dude is going to win Choose Your Legends 9 in the next couple of months. Sorry, that was just a bit of a wisecrack from me. A smidge of comedy, a minuscule amount of drollery, may I add. Baller's actually going to win instead. Today, we have a brand new winter banner featuring the most out-of-pocket lineup we've had in a very long time, but in a good way. And as per tradition, I will be using this coveted line graph that may or may not be a line graph at the end of the day to rank the brand new winter banner. Today's ranking will be based on how many presents are present in the present winter banner. But as a reminder, if the number goes above 10 at any point, it will roll back to 1 and continue from there. And if you want something presented to you on youtube.com, then make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you can guarantee something awesome this holiday. Guaranteed, not guaranteed, this guaranteed holiday.
Wrapping my presents. Wrapping paper on my presents.
First up, there's Formotis, and wow, I can't believe they actually did that. I had a title written down for the banner ahead of time, and I can't believe they did this because epic funny YouTuber title, and I could have been like, I can't believe they did this, guys, in a funny, smug way. But here I am thinking, I can't believe they did this, guys. Also, look at the funny tiny Leon, teehee teehee. Also, this Formotis is really cool, no pun intended, partially intended, because he's Formotis, but new. Also, he wears a scarf when transformed. Let's see. He's a red beast armor that comes with Icy Ravager, which is a slaying weapon with built-in times pulse 4, stats put on the foe, true stats, even more true stats, guard nullification, and distant counter. He also comes with an upgraded A slot in Lead-In Regrets, which has all the same effects as his original Nightmare A slot with the added bonus of 50% DR piercing and an easier transformation condition.
Jolly.
I don't know if this dude got the memo or not, but end turn status is dead. There's a skill called Firm Cancel Curve that negates the effect, and it's used by a collective total of 0 units. But if the skill was used often, then he sure would be in trouble. Honestly, it's a nice upgrade. I can't say I care for the status regardless, but it was never so in your face with him, whereas somebody like Sather or Duleon would bend you over backwards with it and then ask you to make a baby. One of the biggest issues that Formotis had, even on debut, was his inability to transform with Hardy Fighter, which was the best B slot for him at the time, which is great because he no longer has that issue. He now has several other issues in Ninja Lucina, Brave Bernadetta, Ninja Tharja, Ninja Saline, Leyrother, soon to be New Year's Leyrother, no more saving teehee teehee. He also comes with limited time premium fodder such as Aegis, as well as Shield Fighter and some new save skill or something, sure, whatever. Hey guys, Z here. You fought Ice Fjorm, right? You know, the best far save in the game. Isn't she so obnoxious and difficult to deal with and hot? I mean, screw her, am I right, guys? I would screw her. Introducing a brand new skill to make it even worse in attack defense Brier far save. Ooh. Featuring extra true damage reduction as well as damage reflection to make any shield fighter unit deal actual damage. Twin save? How about you save me the trouble? Twin, I know, you just pulled for them and they're not even 3 months old yet, but why don't you pull for this new save skill instead? This time for sure it won't get power crept in 3 months. We can ensure no more after 3 months though. In all honesty, it mostly seems to serve as a side grade rather than an upgrade. All the non-shield fighter armors can still use Armored Beacon and Twin Save, while the shield fighter armors can use Brier Save. As for which type is better, you could argue both types have their benefit. It's still shield fighter. But yeah, that sure is Formotis, and honestly, even if he doesn't end up lasting that long, he's still really awesome, and on that basis alone, I'd summon for him. But that's okay, because introducing Defense Res Brier Desert Formotis Twin Shield Save. And then there's female Shez, and she's here to fill the obligatory 3 houses slot on every winter banner. Although it makes sense when you consider insert artificial reasoning here. But Shez is awesome, I like Shez, good choice IS. Also, this Shez is really cool, no pun intended, maybe intended, because she's Shez, but new. Kinda, sorta. Let's see. She's a green dagger cavalry unit that has a slaying dual-phase brave weapon that grants insight, breath, and stats to herself and allies, has built-in stats, true stats, and even more true stats. She also comes with an upgraded A slot in Swift Ice, not to be confused with Swift Slice or the other Swift Slice. It grants stats, first hit damage reduction, no follow-up, damage reduction piercing, and has effective damage against every unit in the game. Dude, when she initiated combat, I was like, holy crap, she could do that? And then when she dealt damage during combat, I was like, that's crazy insane. And then when the other thing happened during the trailer and I honestly have no idea what to say about her. It really is just another version of female Shez, which is fine, but it's nothing that new per se. I guess that also makes sense since she never really struggled with much to begin with, so the design space most likely hinged on her unit typing, but now that she's a ranged cav, that bar can't really continue to rise. From 1,000 years ago. She also comes with Pulse Mog, which was previously locked to Shez. Not that Shez or that Shez or that Shez or that Shez. Actually, I think it was the one before that. As well as Full Disarm, which is Disarm Trap 4 that inflicts a bunch of speed and defense debuffs and neutralizes guard. It's a nice skill for sure because it debuffs speed and defense and neutralizes guard. We also don't have a lot of skills that debuff speed and defense and neutralize guard. I think the only other skill that debuffs speed and defense and neutralized guard was Tempo, but that was infantry locked. But now any dagger can debuff speed and defense and neutralize guard. But yeah, that sure is Shez, and it's basically what if Shez did Shez things again. She hits harder and has better range than her other version, so that's neat. Some might also say, kinda neat. And then there's Hortensia, and she's definitely Hortensia. Yep, sure is. Hortensia showing up this time around means that every Engage Royal got some kind of content this year. Also, this Hortensia is really cool, no pun intended, might be intended at this point, because she's Hortensia, but is actually new for the most part, even as a unit. Let's see, she is a cavalry staff unit that has a slaying fire sweep weapon with built-in 2-space warping, grants foe penalty doubler, and pulses to herself and allies within 3 spaces, stats, no follow-up, and true damage. She also has an upgraded C slot in Twinkling Anima, which grants stats, null guard, and damage reduction piercing to herself, Canto stats, and penalty neutralization to herself and allies, while inflicting debuffs, panic, and discord to any nearest foe. Hortensia is actually really sick. It's not entirely surprising that she'd be more original this time around since she didn't have a PRF weapon on debut, but it feels like a wholly different unit for the most part. She also doesn't overlap with her arcane version since the different movement types as well as the echo skill accessibility means they can function differently enough. Emphasis on differently because I'm not sure the old one functions at all these days. She was diagnosed with being released over 9 months ago, sorry guys. Still, she's the most unique thing on the banner by a landslide, but that's spoilers, forget I said that. She also comes with a bunch of skills that I don't really care about and a new assist that I actually care about in Ice Lock Plus. Ice Lock Plus is a new healer assist that not only heals but grants defense and res bonuses to an ally and applies Divine Vein Ice with an additional action after turn 2. It is a really, really strong skill, all things considered, but I'm surprised they're dropping so much Divine Vein Ice in general, although I guess better that than Lone Wolf clones or variants. And because it's so strong, I figured it would be worth highlighting all the healers that benefit from this. So here's all the healers that are good or useful right now. And now here's a list of all the healers that will become good or useful after the addition of Ice Lock Plus. I don't know if you get it or not, but healers still suck. But yeah, that sure is Hortensia, and she's definitely a lot more unique this time around thanks to having an actual PRF and being a cavalry unit. There's no telling if she'll be all that common like her original version was at one point, but I think she's still sick regardless. And finally, there's Alear. And Alear, yeah, it's 2 Alears. They're serving as the duo this time around, or should I say the trio, because we got Sami here too. Guys, this is genuinely peak. I love this thing so much, you have no idea. Also, this Alear is really cool. No pun, yes pun intended, because he's Alear, but basically the same. But that doesn't matter because we got Sami. He is so epic and awesome. Let's see. He is an infantry dragon that has a slaying dual phase brave weapon. Sami also got that slay. It's funny because slay and slay are two different words with the same pronunciation. With adaptive damage, stats but on the foe, true stats, more true stats, and a brand new status in Divinely Inspiring that grants even more stats, special jumps, and healing per hit. He also has Emblem's Miracle, which has distant counter, stats, damage reduction, and miracle built into it, on top of a button that removes all penalties off himself and allies, and grants bonus negation and damage reduction piercing as a status.
Rapping.
Yeah, no, it's basically just legendary male Alear, but better, which is either really funny or really sad when you remember that not only is his legendary less than a year old, but he's also still a really good infantry tank. This one is just modern and fully kitted out with better skills, so unless you're willing to sack this Alear to the legendary version, then you may as well use the new one. At least until they shoot this one out back and make you summon for the new Speed Res Brier Valentine's Alear, even Dragon Steed. I think I have even less to say about him than I did Shez, but I guess that's to be expected. I could just talk about other things if you guys like this one time I did this thing about it happened and stuff occurred because of the thing, and maybe I just don't have anything to talk about, period. His father also really isn't anything new either. Dragon's Roar, Speed, Res Spiked Wall, and even Res Wave Dragons, which are good skills, but two of them were released earlier in the year, and the other one was released tomorrow. Because that's how time works. But yeah, that sure is Alear, and he sure can infantry all over the place, probably. This would be the part where I'd have another funny way of transitioning to the next topic, but just like Winter Alear, I have nothing new to add. There's also the free stuff that we usually get every time there's a seasonal banner. And guys, I have a confession to make. Ever since I learned how to say Eichbanir properly, I started going back and forth between that and Dear Dude until it felt more natural to say Eichbanir. It's something I said I would never learn to do, and I failed in upkeeping that promise. But now we have Dear Dude, or Da Dear Dude, like Da-Do, but with one of the deers being shortened. Yeah, I like the sound of that. Da Dear Dude. To save you time on reading what the weapon does, I'm going to make an educated guess and assume I know all the differences after skimming it at like 2 in the morning. Dear Dude trades out Slaying, Canto 2, and True Damage Reduction for Attack Defense Penalty Neutralization, Lull Attack Defense, and a Guaranteed Follow-Up. It's not the worst by any means, even if all 3 of these effects can be easily outsourced by support and are comparably weaker to the other stuff he had prior, but who's really paying attention to stuff like that, am I right? Everything else is still the same, and as far as freebie units are concerned, he's definitely one of the better ones regardless. We also got 2 new Sacred Seals in Speed Res Tempo and Wrathful Staff. Speed Res Tempo is really nice for all the infantry mages that want the extra stats and null guard capabilities, which includes all of these units. Wrathful Staff is also really nice for all of the staff units that want to free up their B slot for all sorts of other amazing skills they have access to, such as And now that we've gone over the brand new winter units, I think it's time we rank the banner on the line graph. That may or may not be a line graph at the end of the day. And would you look at that? The brand new winter banner has earned a 10 out of 10. On the line graph, between this and the recent FE7 banner, Book 9 is off to an incredible start. Will it continue the streak of good banners? No. Can we hope the streak continues anyway? No. Congratulations to the winter banner for being one of the only 10 out of 10 banners thus far. And for the slight amount of people out there thinking to themselves, I'm going to summon on this banner no matter what, but is there any reason at all not to summon on it? Do I have an unsatisfactory answer to give out this Christmas? Sadly, yes. The winter banner has a lot of really nice stuff on it, but so does the currently running Blazing Blade banner with Layla and Hector. Moreover, we have an Emblem hero at the end of the month with a really good lineup of characters on every color that will then be followed up with New Year's. Dear Dude is also on the Emblem hero banner at the end of the month if you wanted to get him. He's also going to be released for free tomorrow at the time of this video.
Wrapping my presents. Wrapping paper on my presents.